So today on Project Shop, we are actually in my old neighborhood. This is my old stomping grounds. I literally, when I first moved to Florida, lived not even a half a mile in that neighborhood right over here. So we're down over here at one of my buddies. He's gonna give me a piece of equipment that I've actually been wanting for a while. And this one's a kind of a big piece of equipment, a little bigger than I really need, but it's free and I can't pass it up. So wait till you see what we're about to pick up. All right, this is what we got. We got a massive metal brake. He said it was practically brand new. They didn't even use it that much. Unfortunately, it did sit outside. It just has a little bit of surface rust. I'll knock that right off with a DA and a scuff pad and some, what do you call it, WD-40. It's real interesting. This thing is a Chicago steel bending brake, patented size L37, made in the USA. Dressy and Crump manufacturer. I don't know what that says. Chicago, Illinois. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm waiting for the guy to come back. We can move this over and get this strapped down, and then we'll come back. All right, I made it back to my house. It was kind of hectic over there because of where this was. People were coming in and out, and actually, while I was there, someone rolled up and was like, oh, we need to borrow the forklift. We thought they were using it to offload something. No, they were there to change tires on it. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. I believe he says he has a couple more things for me for this, but this is a practically brand new, slightly weathered because it was sitting outside, but I don't think that really matters. Oh, hold on. I got some WD-40 so I can get this thing started on its journey back to being a nice piece of equipment. Yeah, he said that they used it a couple times. They used it literally like for one job, and then it just sat outside. So I'm just going to get some WD on there to stop the rust, and then we'll come back in here one day and clean this up. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get this off my trailer. I could pick it up with my forklift and the fork extensions, I think. I'm gonna have to go find a cover for it. I think he said he has the if there's more teeth or whatever those are, he has them. And I got the giant weights with it. This thing's a big freaking press. I'll be able to bend some big metal with this. I think I'll be able to use this to bend my diamond plate when I'm ready for that. Oh yeah, I can make just a straight up diamond plate sluice with this. I gotta find my jug that Naples Frank sent me a whole gallon of this one day. Let that soak in there. And then he also gave me these two steel racks. It's hard to tell what they are, but I don't know. I mean, they kind of take up a lot of space. I don't know if I mean, I got a lot of space, but I don't know where I would want to put these. These are for like outside a building, and I noticed when we picked them up and put them here that like these little things, some had water in it because they are facing up. I will take a drill and drill the bottoms so you know, water doesn't sit down in there and rot it. If anything, it's a lot of nice box steel, you know, but being that I plan on building a lot of stuff out here, it would be nice to put my wood on, or you know, something. I'll probably go ahead and add on one of these. One I'll leave alone. One I'll probably add one or two more things for shorter, like if I want to put some 4-foot pieces on or smaller stock, you know. Got a lot of cool possibilities with it, but the best thing about all of this is it was free. And there's more stuff coming. The guy is like, he doesn't have anybody that wants to do this stuff, you know. Kids are not interested really like they should be. And he's got, you know, he's trying to downsize where he's at, but he also wants to set up a place that he can come do projects. He likes the fact that I'm going to be building a shop, and he wants to set me up with a bunch of stuff that, you know, when he goes, it'll just be mine. He just needs a place for it. So yeah, that's our score for today. I should measure this. I think it's an 8 foot. I think he said it was 8 foot. And I looked these things online. These things are like thousands of dollars. So it's not a cheap piece of equipment. It's actually a pretty nice piece of equipment. I've been wanting one. I have a small bench top. I tried to use it once and it just wasn't strong enough for what I was trying to do. This will be plenty strong enough. So I just need to find a place for it. I'm just going to get it up off the trailer. I think I'm going to have to just back it in and set it down over there somewhere. And then when I get that Kubota over here, I can pick it up and set it off. Soak it down really good with some WD and cover it up. And then eventually, I don't really see me putting this inside my shop because it's not something I would use like daily. Unless I get really into fabrication, which I would love to, man. I'm all about welding and fabricating and machining and building. And I mean, it's starting to become a lost trade. So now that everything is automated with machines, finding someone that can just build you something real quick, who knows? The possibilities are endless, especially with free stuff. I mean, it was free. You know, what am I going to do? I can just put it somewhere. If I absolutely didn't do anything with it, you know, I could always just sell it as a good working unit. I'll just clean it up. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to build that I see myself using this for. I want to be able to, you know, this is part of the brand Project Shop, is like the ultimate shop. I want to be able to build whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? If I want to cut something, if I want to weld something, if I want to mill something, if I need to bend something, you know. Half of the reason I started this YouTube channel was to document me building the ultimate shop. And I mean, there's so many tools. I want all the tools, basically. But there's a bunch of staples that, you know, I want, that are going to, in my opinion, make like the ultimate shop. You know, and that part of it's going to be any type of metalworking and almost any type of woodworking. And I have some woodworking tools that I haven't really showed on the channel that I want to, you know, now that I got a house and we're going to be working with a little bit of wood, not a lot, but I'm more of a metal guy. But if I want to dabble in some wood, hey man, I want all the tools. I want some, at least enough to get the job done. So, and another thing, let me turn this fan on. Another thing, I stopped by and seen my buddy, which I ain't seen in, gosh, probably 3 or 4 years. He started his business next to me, and then I moved, and he shortly moved out into a bigger shop. Both of us moved into bigger shops. It was kind of like a starting point. But the hydraulic cylinder is gone, and he's got it. So he's going to be quite surprised when he opens it up and that milky stuff comes out. Oh, that's nasty. What I am going to do is probably tomorrow or whatever, I'm going to go get 5 gallons, a 5-gallon bucket. I think these are 2-gallon tanks. So I can completely flush this one. Well, that one's good. That one had its own oil. I need to flush the other one. Yeah. So I'll flush them too. And that way when the cylinder comes, we have fresh fluid. And then we have this pump. But I was looking around because I had some 10,000 psi pullers. This is what I originally started with when I first built this years ago. I started out with one of these right here, but I have a bigger one somewhere. I just can't find it. I don't know how long it's going to take him. He said it was going to be a couple days because he was really busy. And I told him, I was like, don't give me any special treatment, dude. Just do it when you can. So I just wanted it done right, and then hopefully by then I can sort out that other hydraulic tank. Maybe just kind of get an idea what we need. He's got some cylinders over there. He says, I think he said they had 10-inch stroke, which would work for that, but I don't know. I need something, a little bit more than that. But I might plug this in just to see if it works on this little stuff. It's probably a 6-inch stroke right there. That'll be enough to pull this stuff out. Maybe we'll pull a little bit of copper tonight. Fill the bucket up a little bit. See where we're at with that. I gotta go find a fitting for this. I'm gonna mill around and look for the other one. It would be better if I had the other one, but I think I can get away with this. Working on those right there. Okay, so this is what I've come up with. I found the little ram, and then I've rooted around, and I found my bigger puller ram. Okay. Now, before I show you how fast this thing moves, I just want to show you. These are the exact opposite of what I have on my press. These were the two puller rams, right? This size and that size. Now on my press, a lot of you guys have never seen that I actually have another cylinder right here. I just never used it because it was so fast. And this was the size of the original cylinder that I originally started with. I made something like this on a smaller scale, but with that cylinder. It was wicked fast. It would literally sometimes kick the transformers at you if you weren't careful. The problem was it wasn't strong enough for some of them, and it didn't have enough stroke. So I wind up changing to this one, which basically pushed everything. I don't think I've ever had that thing stop. But I wanted to keep this on here just in case I had a problem with the cylinder. I could just plug into this one and keep moving. It did do the job. It's just on the really tall ones, sometimes I'd have to just crack the, use this to crack it after it pushed it. It pushed it 98% of the way. There's always just a little bit in there. But it moved super fast. But with the hydraulics and it being by itself, this was so fast, so much more faster than that machine. It really didn't even make sense to have that running for one, safety reasons, and two, it was literally twice as fast as the other machine. It would never need to be that fast, unless I was working by myself and I did a whole pile and I was trying to blow through the other things. But anyway, let me show you how fast this moves, because this is pretty slick. And this is a single acting pump. This only has, this is literally the on and off button, and that's it. Now she's holding pressure. She's got about, I don't know, let's see what the gauge says. But it is spring release. I feel like that's a little, I had a can of WD-40 out here earlier. I don't know what I did with it. I might have left it on my trailer. But I got some liquid wrench. Silicone. Whoa! What the heck? Okay, I've got that all over my hand. So there's just basically a spring in there pushing that back. And the same thing on that thing. It would go down with the hydraulic pressure, but there was a spring inside pulling it back. And that's why you see I added springs to that to speed up the, because it has to push the hydraulics out. And this is basically just opening that valve and letting the pressure go back to tank. That's all it's doing. So that is kind of how fast I need the hydraulic. That's actually really good speed. That's faster than what I had, but we want the same speed back and forth. Now, unfortunately, this is just a single acting ram. I'm gonna hook it up, and it might just do the job, because we're only pulling. I mean, we're not pulling. We need a little bit of leeway, but there's plenty of stroke there to pull. You know, and then I could just adjust the chain to where I need it, but I need to figure out how I'm going to attach it down the end of the table, and the rest of it just, you know, I got to actually, what I need to do is start down this way, because that chain is only so long. So this cylinder will actually be like up here in the middle of the table somewhere, and with the tension tool balancer, it'll keep the chain and pull on that a little bit. But it ain't gonna like help it. That's a lot of pressure there. But look how fast that moves. Imagine how fast that one over there moves. I'm gonna go find another chain and see if I can't get this set up on the table, and see if we can't pull a little bit of copper tonight. This would actually be, if I could get this moving fast outwards, or if I had a longer one. I mean, the single acting thing, it's not bad. It's got a foot pedal. That's why I brought it over here. I was going to plug it into that, which that might even be faster than that. But that thing is loud, and I would have to run the handle. This I can get back to being hands-free, so we can pull this stuff fast. So let me get this stuff set up, and we'll see if we can't pull a little bit of copper with this single acting ram. Okay, guys, moment of truth. So found me another big old chain, and we just got the chain hooked to the hook. And I put a piece of wood here just so this doesn't scrape on here. The cylinder. I put the bolts back in here. And I just have, I left enough. You know, I still have a lot of adjustment in case I need to get it right. But I think we're at a good enough place where I can actually start pulling. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh. So I'm going to have to kind of manually bring it back. Oh yeah. Oh man, look at that. That's beautiful, man. That weighs. That was nice. That is what I've been thinking about in my mind, like how fast this should work, you know? See what else we got up here. Oh, forgot to release it. Alright, that's something to be desired. But that, oh, see how short that stroke is? That's all we got. Ha, but that's all we need. Wow. I'm alright with that. That's a good speed. Could we make it faster? I don't think it's really that necessary. Oh, I was at my buddy's shop today. He's got a nice 100-ton press. I'm gonna ask him if I can video over there. What I need to do is put a rubber band, or I had a thing on my plasma cutter. So I used to do this on the press. I had a rubber band, or I don't know what it was. It was like a piece of rubber I used to put on here to hold. I don't know if that's gonna work, but oh yeah. That way it automatically, see that? Yeah, that way it automatically starts going back. I don't, that way I don't forget about it. try this out. Oh, snap. We are going to be ramping up production, man. That is freaking awesome. Now, this is nice, but two things. One, it don't have enough stroke. When I get them big boys in here, that's going to be annoying. Two, I actually need a double acting cylinder for another operation that this thing will eventually have. Let's see. Grab that. Nice. Come on. See, I think if it kept going, I could get all that in one shot. But that is way faster than I've ever done that. Oh. That's kind of annoying. Not having a full stroke. I just do this one by hand. Look at that. Sweet. Where's my new screwdriver? Went out and bought me a new set of flatheads with a smackable end on it, just for scrapping. One of my favorite scrapping tools is a beefy flathead screwdriver. I recommend everybody have one. Oh, look at all that red gold. Finally getting some copper in the bucket. And we're doing it at a nice pace. If I'm in the middle of a run or I'm doing a lot and something happens, I got extra pumps, I got extra hydraulics. Now this isn't a proper replacement, but hey, look, we're pulling copper way faster than I've ever pulled it before. Nice. Oh, a short stroker. That's nice. That weighs, man. Now I just need to figure out how to get that kind of speed out of a bigger double acting cylinder. If I had a double acting, I could toggle that back and forth and it move at the same rate. That's when we're really going to be in production. But right now, it's pulling copper faster than I've ever pulled copper. Pulled that plate a little bit. Yeah, okay. I don't have that plate clamped down. Yeah, I need to make a quick lock-in system for the plate. One of the problems with this is this has no locating pins. It kind of just moves around. It is what it is. It definitely pulls the copper a lot faster now. Let's see. There we go. See, on these smaller ones, this is where a smaller puller would be nice. This thing's just a brute. This thing's really made for those big giant stators I be getting. Oh, we're dropping nuggets on the ground, and this one's a little more unforgiving too. Uh-oh. Lost my rubber band. But hey, we're pulling copper, man. She's getting it. Sweet. All those little nuggets add up, man. Okay, I think I only have a couple more that'll actually pull. The rest of these are cooked. All these transformers will just basically fall apart. Huh. That's the easy way of doing it. Easy money. I don't know if I'll ever get back into easy money, like transformer money, but we're going to be close, man. We're going to be real close, because, you know, I think the average profit on them transformers was $5, right? And I could do on an average, let's say 3 to 4 or 5, you know, 5 a minute all day long was just unrealistic. 3 a minute, easy. Because you always have something, you know, hang ups, snags, or whatever. So $15 a minute, not bad. But when you got a big motor that's got $50 plus, not $5, 50 plus. If we can bust one of them big motors down 15 a minute, 2, we'd have to do it in about 3 minutes. If we can break down big motors in 3 minutes, we might be on transformer territory. That's pushing it though. We need some serious hydraulics, man. And big motors. Big boy motors. I don't even think this is gonna work in there. That's a big knot of copper though. I can't just leave that. Let's see. We're pushing it. Oh. Ha! Oh yeah, look at all that red gold. Alright. See, this is where we need different plates, different adapters. You know? Everything needs to be quick change. I'm going to do a lot of motors. Now, I don't particularly want to be doing these little tiny motors. I'm pretty sure this came out of one of them AC compressors. If I'm going to do a lot of AC compressors, I'm going to get this small stuff. So, we got to be geared up for all of it. doubt it. Huh. I'm gonna just probably pull that right off the bottom. Yeah. Oh. Had like a little explosion of copper there for a second. And this is where not having a concrete floor sucks. Because I used to just sweep up down here and throw it in the pile. Another real small one. Yeah, that's the way to go, man. That is definitely the way to go. Gotta be really careful, man. This 100-ton thing, man, it ain't playing. I was trying to grab it. See, that puts it off because the transformer's not square. Puts it in a weird position. I'm losing my pedal. This is where I need the one with the beak. But hold that crap right out of there. Yeah. If I had one of these that had more of a, like this, and different size ones, maybe like a big one and a small one, pulling them out would be easy. But for the most part, these are just going to get set up on the vise and I'll tap them down. Same thing with these. Actually, last time I did some of these, I just beat it on the table. Look at that. Splitting it in half really loosens that stuff up. And most of it just comes right out. That's actually faster than, I'll cut that off. That's zip tied on. That was faster than trying to peel it out or knock it out individually. Nice little chunk. Copper in the bucket. Well, that all might not work out like that. Oh, look, 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 it's going. It's going. Sometimes you just got to beat it out. Okay, there you go. That was pretty simple. That's actually nice, man. Yeah, because running it... Now, if I would have cut that with a grinder, that would have never came out like that. I don't think. But if I were you guys, I'd try it. The good thing about the splitter is you're cutting everything in half at how far it has to go. You know? That I can pull. Now these, I've seen a very interesting machine. They cut this down the middle and then they had something like ripping these out the side. I'm wondering if I could put this on something and spin it and come into it. I don't know. I don't get enough of these to really worry about it. I would like a faster way of removing the copper rather than doing that by hand. I don't know if these will do the same thing. Oh, maybe. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, snap. There we go. Maybe if I remove those ones there didn't seem like they I really want it to come out. They're coming out though. Come on. See, this is where that tool that I have, it's a seal puller. It works really good. It's got 2 different leverage angles and it's got a point to get down in there. But I'll tell you what, banging it on the table worked pretty good. I'm alright with that. Nice little nugget of copper. I mean, it all adds up. That one's still kind of tough. Yeah, that would have been easier just to do in the vise, but you know, if you don't have a vise and you've already cooked it, that's one way of doing it. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to call it here. I'm actually screaming into the thing because I had giant muffs on. Let me know what you guys think. I love the speed. When I get a big pile on here, I think that speed, even though the short stroke, would be the fastest way to do it. You know? I mean, that is just incredibly fast. Yeah, that's how fast you want to rip your copper out. Now we need that going back the other way just as fast. So we need to work on our hydraulic game. I mean, we are stepping it up a little bit. Thanks to Bill for the pump. He actually called me today and gave me some insight on those AC compressors. It's what he did for a very long time. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the steel yard. We'll make a steel yard run. I might have some more AC scrap to pick up while I'm out there. I got some other customers to pick up some stuff from. So we're going to be coming back with a nice little load. Let me know what you guys think about the metal brake, the Chicago press brake or metal brake or whatever you want to call that thing. Let me know what you think about the hydraulics. But for now, hey, you know what? I sent that other hydraulic cylinder off and I just scrounged around and I was able to keep on moving. Good thing I had multiple pumps, and I'm curious to see how fast that little one works. And I'm still curious if anyone knows why. Well, we'll find out when I get that pump back and it's not leaking. I'm curious to know why the cylinder side, because this cylinder actually moves faster than the cylinder on my press, because this is taking up a bunch of space in there. It has to push just a little ring right here, right? So the gallons per minute should fill up that surface area a lot faster than filling up the whole hollow tube pushing the plunger, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it just makes more sense that it should go faster that way on a double acting cylinder than coming out. And that just, I don't know, man, it wasn't the case. We got some backward stuff going on. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard.
Bye.